This week on CLIPCast, we're doing something brand new. It's been sold to us by Mr. Carvalho as a good idea. We're not so sure, but hey, let's find out. Today, we're inviting anybody who wants to call. They've been sent a link. They can call in. They can talk to the five of us about whatever they want. Guys, how are we feeling about this?
Nervous?
I think it's going to be interesting, to see who calls, to see what happens, where the conversation goes.
Sure.
Let's see what happens.
It's gonna keep us on our toes.
So we've all started doing this year, something new. I know I've learned quite a lot about it. What about you guys? What have you learned from taking on this new role in Clip?
I think it's been a lot about trying to send certain messages, I think, because I feel like sometimes there's something that needs to be discussed, and using our platform to share information, which is the main point of media overall, is just to share information with people. I think it's a very important purpose of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing, but there's a lot of things.
I think even with our, we have a few more serious episodes, but I think even with the ones that are just meant for entertainment, that are just a bunch of what Mr. Carvalho called group therapy, it really helps, at least me. It's something I look forward to in my day to record. It's a bit like being with your friends and just talking, and on my end at least. It's great. I really think it's a lot of fun to be part of.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. I think that both sides of it are really important. Like you both said, the sharing a message if something is happening in the world, or just making people laugh and having something out there so that if people are bored or if they have nothing to do, they can just be entertained. And honestly, from my point of view, of recording it, it's been really great to just have these days where I just come and talk to you guys, and it's been really fun. It's definitely a highlight of my week or day or whatever.
I completely agree, especially with the whole situation we were in last year, where we all were sent home and everything. It
Not
could
very
be
far
really
from today.
yeah, it could be very easy to fall into a routine of talking to your family, and to your close group of friends, and to some teachers. So it would be really nice to break it up and talk to this group of people from week to week and catch up and see how we were doing. And I think it was just very nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about for you, Mr. Weeks?
I've really enjoyed it. I think I've learnt to think about the questions I ask, because I don't know if you remember right at the beginning, but when we started this, my section, we would always ask the same questions every week. And I think at the beginning that worked well, and it was kind of interesting to hear different people answer the same questions. I think it got a bit repetitive, a bit boring, so we started to expand it out, and just to try and make it a bit more natural, a bit more of a flow that suited the guest. And I think maybe that's what I learned, kind of the need to be flexible, and the need to, I don't know, you can't treat everybody like they're exactly the same. Just because they're coming to you doesn't mean that they're all the same. You have to change yourself to
it's true.
Match them, I guess.
We've talked about this on one of our episodes before, but it's insane to me to see the difference of the structure of CLIPCast now as opposed to what it was when it started.
Oh,
Absolutely.
It was these really long episodes. It was only Maria and JP as hosts. It would take forever to record.
Yeah.
It would take
record
so
every
long.
single intro to segments. It's really fun to...
Yeah, it's really weird to think, because before me and Constanza, as you were saying, we weren't a host. We were in the producers and the team. It's really weird that I went from writing scripts for you guys,
that we never followed.
scripted and everything like that, to now just the four of us, the roadcast as we called it at the time. Just having a conversation. It's much more natural. I prefer it.
I think the whole thing about reading a script is so
Yeah.
not good.
JP
It was
is
horrible.
great
Like,
with scripts. It's
it
really
was just
great.
so. Okay, I don't want to say this, but it was boring. I mean, we just had to read out scripts, and the problem with reading out a script is that we had the ability to take many cuts of it, like try it over and over. So our sessions of recording would be like 2 hours of us trying over and over and over to get it right.
Legitimately
We would
2
do
hours of them
so
laughing.
many takes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
absolutely. You should have seen it.
Because sometimes, like, the scripts would also be, like, bullet points we had to see. So when we moved from bullet point to the other, like, we'd try, like, different segments and things to go in, and Coach would be like, that's wrong,
Yeah.
don't do that. No, don't use that again.
Yeah.
You've done that for every
No,
point. You're like, we're
no.
sorry. We don't know what to
It was
say.
horrible.
JP had a problem where he'd say enjoy all the
Enjoy.
time, and we didn't notice the first like 2 episodes, and then we got everybody being like, guys. And so then it was JP, let's not say enjoy, and he goes, right, okay, here you go. But then he'd be sarcastic and go like, don't enjoy, hate this.
Yeah.
I just
And up next up.
Up next. Yes, up next. Like, oh, God.
I have my own version of that, which no one's mentioned it to me, but maybe it's just because everyone's too friendly and too nice. But I noticed that I always go, so, and that's my
So.
word.
Oh,
So.
Yeah, you did
Yeah,
the
but
same.
I was talking to someone the other day, and I feel like a lot of teachers especially switch the ums to so.
Sounds more positive, right?
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
sounds
which
like
is I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
It's like, now
exactly.
let's do this.
It's more
You're
confident.
giving away your secrets.
Yeah.
It's great though.
I just think like being free to have a conversation is so much better than reading a script for 2 hours. It was just
I completely agree.
it doesn't compare to what we do now. So I'm really happy that we had this change of format.
Are you guys fans of podcasts? Do you listen to lots of other podcasts? Are you fans of that medium?
I had a phase about last year when I listened to them a bunch, and then I stopped. And then once you stop, because they're normally like scheduled like weekly, whatever, I think or at least I fall out of the routine of listening to it. So then I have to find another one, so I listen to them a bit less, but I do still listen to them.
The reason I ask is because I think the best podcasts are what you say. I think most podcasts probably have a scripted introduction and a scripted ending, but that's not the reason people listen to them. People listen to them because of the chat or whatever comes in the middle, which is always free and easy. I think that's why I like the medium so much. This is where I'm going to make you guys feel very young and myself feel very old, but when podcasts first started to be a thing in 2005, 2006, I kind of instantly became hooked to them, and I listened to. I'm always getting in trouble in the house because I kind of walk around the house doing whatever I do in the house with headphones on because I'm listening to a podcast. But but it is that kind of informality. You feel like it's a conversation you're listening to, but a conversation you could easily participate in. Yeah.
Yeah, usually you feel like a connection to the host because it's informal, and when you do something informal with someone, you grow closer to them, if that makes sense. I think it's really interesting. It's like public. It's like you're sharing your good moments. You're sharing, like, when you have a conversation with your friends, it feels really good. If you're a good host, or if you're good at doing a podcast, it feels like you're sharing that feeling of a good conversation, and a lot of people get hooked on that, and they just listen to it all the time because it's really nice to listen to. I think it's really cool, and it's a great idea. So I'm happy that we're doing this.
Me too.
So, does anyone have any weekend plans?
You have today plans because it's
Yeah,
your birthday.
JP.
It is my birthday.
What are your today plans?
I don't know. I'm just gonna relax. Maybe do a call with my friends at the end of the day, but that's mostly it.
How's your Friday been, Gabby?
It's been alright. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any highlights, lowlights?
I walked my dog. It was fun.
I heard I lost my dog. That was fun, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I love that. Great.
Right. So, Gabby, I was saying earlier that last lockdown,
Mhm.
kind of it went on for a long time, and you just kind of get into like almost a routine of slumming it, just kind of getting up like straight into lessons, and you kind of lose the structure of your life that maybe was there before. I've been trying really hard this lockdown to avoid kind of getting into that again. I've been trying to kind of set myself kind of things to do, get up, kind of make sure I have breakfast before I start teaching rather than whilst I'm teaching period one and that sort of thing, and going to bed at a decent time. What did you learn from the last lockdown that maybe is affecting your success this lockdown?
I don't really know. Like last lockdown, I never, for like the lessons at least, I never talked or had a camera on, which I think affected me in a way that I didn't realize. When we went back to school in September, all I wanted to do was talk and be heard because it had been so long since I hadn't. So that's why now that we're doing online school again, I'm always having my microphone and camera on because I just don't like the feeling of being not lonely, but no one to talk and hear you.
You've also dyed your hair this lockdown.
Do you guys feel the same? Have you been more attentive to having microphones and cameras on, and do you feel that's made you more positive?
I think for me, it's a lot easier this lockdown. I've also been trying to keep myself busy even on the weekends, because or else to me it just feels like a really long day that lasts forever. And so I feel like trying to make the days different and trying to focus on what you're doing and not, this, especially now that it wasn't actually lessons, it was like support, to actually be there and do what they're suggesting that you do instead of, sleep all day. I think at least this one's been easier so far.
You're also like, last time it was really out of nowhere. It came a bit out of nowhere. Like you weren't expecting to go that bad, So we thought that was when okay, it's going to be a virus. Okay, it's bad, of course, but we're going to be fine. But then it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This time I think we kind of expected it more. At least I knew, not knew, but I was expecting it a few weeks before we actually went, because we saw this coming, honestly. But I think on the camera thing, it kind of helps you focus more in a way, because you get this kind of accountability for yourself, because you're actually being seen. And I think that, at least for me, it helps me focus more and okay, let's focus.
Sure.
I know you're home. Focus on what the teacher's saying into stuff,
I don't know if you guys necessarily realize this, but the other thing is when teachers are just staring at a bunch of little circles with pictures in, it really affects teachers after they've done it all day, every day for a week on end without seeing actual people. And after a while, you just get almost demotivated or something. Just you feel that you're just teaching some off microphones and off cameras. When students are there in person, the teachers are more interested and more engaged. I'm not saying we're not always engaged, but it really helps us to kind of understand kind of what we're doing and how students are interacting.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, I wouldn't know. But I think it's also helpful to see if your students are understanding. Sometimes you can see if they're there, if they're not there in a way, their headspace, if they're understanding. I don't know if you feel that in your online.
Absolutely.
I think having people there more, it also helps in the student's point of view, I think, because if there are people on camera, the teacher will probably get off whatever they're sharing on screen and talk to you for a bit, have the most similar we can get to a group discussion. And I think that helps it being more normal, I guess. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So as the three of you join us, we were just talking about the
Hello.
difference between lockdown last time, where most students would have cameras off, and Gabby was telling us she would be there all day, cameras off, phone off. She was doing the work, I think. I don't know. But camera off and microphone off. And now she feels that there's more of a need to kind of be connected, and she feels that it's a lot more of a positive influence. Is this your experience as well?
In a sense, yes. I think that the students are more, sensible to the fact that we need to see each other while we are working. So it's good to sense that they really want to connect with one another and also allow that by turning on the cameras. Seeing eye to eye, let's say.
And I said that we as teachers usually feel more motivated when we can see our class, when we can actually see their face and know that they're actually listening rather than
to be talking directly to a black screen. Yeah, it's not engaging, it's not motivating. We did the effort, but it was draining in terms of inner energy. It was a bit draining. Now it's better, much better.
Mr. Moraes, are you there?
I love that we just lose people along the way. JP's gone. Maria's internet is greatest.
We've lost Ms. Gaspar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks very confused.
Help my daughter in the bathroom, so it's better that I have my camera off and with my mobile put down.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll turn on the camera as soon as I can.
It's okay.
But I am.
Sorry.
Do you have any
don't
question?
worry.
I want to know how many times have you had to do something similar whilst teaching a lesson?
Oh, please.
Considering that they are both having lessons and one is 3 and the other is 6, and then it's completely independent regarding the technology, so it's quite a struggle. And
What's the fun
the
teaching
young
computer science and then or computing and then having to help your kids with computing?
there's no rest on the top. Yeah, but and okay, you see, this is the volume. This is the regular volume. This is the quiet volume.
Very peaceful. Very peaceful.
Yeah.
I would say
For
that.
many, for many teachers, I think, have been going through as well. Like last year in the lockdown, that was like this one. I had Miss Freire as a Portuguese teacher, and every now and again, her kid, he would just come like, and she was like, 1 second, and she was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
like,
still
okay,
happens.
moving on.
Yeah, and our form teacher has a kid, and when we were in history, our teacher had to stop really quickly to go open the door for his cat.
Yeah.
And
And last
Oh
year
my God.
in history, his dog kept crying.
yeah.
Had to like put it on the flat to stop it from crying.
As you know, my cat has already made a lot of appearances. But today, especially, I was with Miss Reis actually working on my 1984 coursework. We were having a call, and I was trying to write down what she was telling me, and like I was trying to eat my pen. So she was just like here, and I was like trying to write something. And now she's like sleeping like a baby. So
Oh.
she picks the best moments to be energetic.
I think it's nice how it feels like the whole clip community is nice and kind of understanding with all of this, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I think, yeah. I mean, I have dogs barking and I have a son who wants to climb on me and look at. I mean, people understand this, and we know the students happens to students. Students know it happens to us.
Yeah, I think we became more humane in that sense. We accept that we have lives outside school, which I think it was a bit weird in the first moment for the students to realize, and even for us, because you're not the same people as you are in school, for sure. And say that even if we are more exposed from one situation to the other, I think that we learned how to choose the places at our homes that we can allow to portray us as people. You see what I mean? Basically, we started choosing the places where we have the lessons, for example, and with that we are also using the space around us to show ourselves as people.
You, for example, are a science teacher in school and out.
Mr. Moraes, what are your plans for the weekend?
I would say that my plans for the weekend would be resting, but yeah, basically my plans for the weekend is try to
Survive.
prepare the next week to be as smooth as possible and take care of these 2 tornadoes, and meanwhile to rest and spirit, if I have the time for it. But yeah, I think that should cover it.
Bruno Tender has joined. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you? Why did you want to join us, Bruno? It's lovely to have you here.
I want to say hi to CLIPCast and to everybody hearing and to everybody part of the team. And I wanted to see from the other part of the production of a podcast.
It's very chaotic.
I believe.
It might be
Yeah,
a
this is
little
possibly
less
the least
organized than it
organized.
looks.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think it serves a purpose because it was a fantastic, when it came up, it was a fantastic way for us to feel connected, even if we were apart.
We have a whole big group now that it keeps growing. For as the production team, it's really fun. It's a really great group of people. I'm really happy to be part of it.
And I love that that you feel that way, and like that it really served its purpose in a way of uniting people in this stressful time, to say the least. Because when it was started, I think that was one of its main purposes. So I'm really glad that you feel that way.
Come on, you've got to give us a blast. Come on, at least let us see you with a Guitar Hero guitar on you. Come on, Mr.
Oh,
Fernand.
please.
It's here.
Wow.
But we can think of organizing some kind of contest in order for us to know.
That seems like a dare, Mr. Reeves.
At this moment, the screen has been like hijacked by another user. So at this moment, it's not possible. But perhaps in the future. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and
You too.
See you next week.
You too, Mr.
Bye.
Fernand.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye. So I think kind of one of the good things as this podcast went on, originally I mean, was I think we went from being like an institutional podcast. I think at the beginning we were trying to make a point of, kind of being the Clip community and sending the message that we wanted to send, right? And then as we went further on, we realized, hey, let's just mess around and have some fun and make it more
Distract
informal.
people.
And it seemed to go better as we did that. So how about we reflect that in this episode? We've just been talking about the importance of community, and someone actually said we are one and all that stuff. So we're ticking all those boxes. How about now we move on and should we just talk about some silly things that make us laugh?
Sure, why not?
Favorite.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Barrage, just feel you're the person out of everyone who should be telling us what's been making you laugh this week and what's been entertaining you over the last...
But basically, what makes me laugh is the confusion and the mess and the hanging around on the tips for everything. Yeah, we gotta laugh on those things because otherwise we could cry then or so loud. It's yeah, but what makes me laugh? For once, the government and the way they're be handling with this. Oh, please do not teach. And oh, wait a minute, we haven't forbidden anybody from teaching.
Yeah.
This is quite a mess on the message they are trying to send. So that makes me laugh a lot. But as you can see, I always laugh not to cry my soul out. Basically, that's my
That's the best way to
remedy.
live. It's great.
Yeah, that's my remedy. If I feel that I have to cry for it, I'm gonna laugh.
What's been making everyone else laugh this week? Nothing?
Well, my answers aren't as fun as Mr. Medese's. This is sad now.
I'm sorry. You should have gone first.
Yeah, you should have been the big finale. That's great.
No,
It was
no.
great. I don't have any social media, but I watch normally videos on YouTube or anything of just completely stupid things to distract me from the apocalypse outside.
I relate,
So
absolutely.
It's also the laugh to not cry thing. I think that's been working pretty well for me in lockdowns.
Watching stupid things to like forget about the world is nice sometimes when you're just too like worried about something or just random stuff on the internet.
Yeah. My family have recently got Netflix, so that's been like fun to watch things because me and my parents have started watching Cobra Kai, which is really
I'm sorry.
good because I grew up watching Karate Kid, so it's like nice to see.
I love that show so much.
It's so good.
I love that show. I'm sorry, I just got really excited when you said that.
No, don't be sorry. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what that is, Gabby. I don't know.
You don't know what Cobra Kai is?
No,
She is
I'm old,
offended.
Gabby. I'm not like...
Have
go on,
you
Maria, tell me.
Have you watched
She had a
Karate
hand
Kid?
up. Yeah, but not since I was like 10.
But exactly, this series is basically the second generation of Karate Kid. So we have Daniel Russo's daughter and like the whole bunch of people like her age. We have Johnny, who opened up a new dojo. He opened up Cobra Kai himself this time, and it's basically just a lot. And there's it's a lot of things happen. Like, I don't want to like spoil anything in case anyone like decides to watch it. So I'm trying to be careful. But it's just basically that. It's the whole like they meet again. You see like the whole interaction between them, the different relationship, the drama, the karate. It's just great. You should all watch it. I recommend it.
It's also like the same actors who were in the original film, like Johnny Lawrence and Danny LaRusso. They're the same actors.
We got two new people. We've got Sophia and we've got Maria Carolina. Hello. Just to let everyone in on the secret, you are actually kind of producers of this episode. So you have been here. What's been making you guys laugh recently, Sophia?
I've been watching a reality show and it's really good. It's called The Circle Brazil.
Nice.
It's like this reality show, but people can only communicate through social media. They don't know like who is like a real profile of someone real or a fake profile. Yeah, so like it's really cool, and like the whole point of the thing is like who gets the most popular of them like by the end, so they like win a cash prize. And yeah, it's funny. It's good.
Hey, there she is.
What's making me laugh right now is I've started seeing Taskmaster before because you said it in the
Wait,
chat.
Taskmaster, the one with Greg Davies.
You made me laugh.
What do you like prefer? Like the book or like the TV show or movie adaptation of it?
I think that depends on the book or the movie.
Generally,
Example,
I prefer
Harry
the book.
Potter.
I'm not very good at reading things.
Pardon?
So
Sorry, say that again, Constanza. Say that again. Pardon?
my problem isn't reading. It's just I can read it once I've opened the book. But opening the book, it just takes so long.
It is always advisable that you open the book to read.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I think like Constanza said, it really depends on like the franchise, you know? You gave the example of Harry Potter and like that's a very good example. Like I think they did a good job on the movies, you know? I think they're good. There are some parts that are inaccurate, and for like book lovers it's like that's wrong, but you know. But then but like I like the movies. I still prefer the books, but I like the movies. Then there are series like, imagine, Percy Jackson, for example. The movies are horrible. They're disgusting. Like, as movies by themselves, sure, they're good. But they are not Percy Jackson books movies. Hate it. Okay, yeah.
Go on, Bruno.
I usually agree with people that prefer the books rather than the movies. The books have the initial story, the initial idea by the author of the book or the creator of the series. They develop that idea. Whoever makes the movie, it's their adaptation or their view of the book.
I think, considering that I'm an English teacher at CLIP, if I was to say anything other than the book is best, I would be kind of failing in my job. But I assume in my Form 10 English class, which Sophia is a member of, before Christmas, we read The Outsiders.
Oh my god, the movie is so bad.
And then we, just at the end, we watched the movie. I hadn't seen it before I watched it with the class, to be honest. I should have done. It was terrible, wasn't it?
It was terrible. It didn't make sense. Like...
No, but I agree with that, especially for books we do in school, like Lord of the Flies and stuff, because you analyze the book and you're like, oh, the reader said this for this, and you think of all the meanings, and then you watch the movie,
And then you watch
and they cut out 20 parts, and they're like, here.
Because I'm watching the show, which I already know the ending to, which I shouldn't, but I don't care. And it's also a book, and they just completely changed it, and it's annoying when they just want to close it up quickly, so they just throw an impromptu ending, and it's just completely different.
Well, not a lot of people have the attention span to watch a 2-hour-long movie or a 3-hour-long movie, which would be the actual rendition.
It wasn't a movie.
Oh, well, okay, then they have no excuse. You're right.
Are we talking about a specific show?
Shadowhunters: The Mortal Instrument. It's
Shadowhunters! Have you read Mortal Instruments?
I knew you were going to say that. The book series is so good. I'm sorry.
I have the whole book series right here, and the prequels and the sequels.
Oh, I love this.
Me too. Me too.
I read them all at your age, Gabby. Really good series. The show is absolutely disgusting.
I haven't read the book
I
yet.
agree. I agree, JP.
I think this has been an awesome chat. I'm gonna drop out because
He's
I
done
have to go and
babysitting
cook
us.
dinner for my family. I have really enjoyed
Oh.
it.
What are you cooking?
I-
Alright.
What am I? What?
Okay.
Cooking.
I'm cooking, so I'm gonna roast some chicken legs with some roast potatoes and broccoli.
Oh, I love roast potatoes.
Nice.
Could I
Oh,
risk
roast
saying
potatoes.
that's a very Portuguese meal?
I've been here 10 years.
It's invaded him.
Yeah, I pretty much cook almost Portuguese style. All right, guys, keep going.
Yes, go on.
I look forward to listening to whatever else you say. If you do keep going, have a wonderful day
You too.
and nice weekend. Goodbye.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Sure.
So, how are you guys feeling for next week?
I'm ready.
You
You're
ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna have school again, which is good.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready either.
I don't have anywhere to do the work, but I'm just gonna sit on my floor and bask
Oh, that's a
in
great idea for
education.
your.
Bask
for your
in
posture.
education.
Very
Class reppy thing to say.
Yes.
Oh, Gabi, are you a class rep?
Yeah.
Who else would you think would be?
What was your speech like?
Well, I basically
Memories
was
back.
just like trying to appeal to everyone's
Oh,
interest. I was like, sports, I could help with sports. I could avoid problems.
Somebody said a bunch of things about canteen food, and then we were like, "How are you gonna change it?" And he goes, "Yes." So
Good
I
answer.
remember when people were running for I don't know if it was for head boy or if it was for prefect last year, but it was all about microwaves. So everybody wanted
Microwave.
more microwaves in the canteen. So when someone went to do like the head
Now
boy
we can
speech,
eat.
they'd always say that they were gonna demand more microwaves in the bar, and that was like the main point of
That
every
was
speech.
for the
So
prefects,
silly.
yeah.
and now we're not
Yeah.
allowed
Now
to.
you can't use them. There you go.
And now we have no microwaves. So
Yeah.
Well, there's a topic for a speech for next year's prefects and head boy and girls.
Yes, I will
Microwave,
end
yeah.
COVID myself
You
and
don't-
get
you don't-
us to be able
that-
I
to
will
use
bring
The
back
real
real
problem isn't
school.
COVID. The real problem is cold food during lunch.
Oh yes.
Face it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here. Bruno, Gabi, our guests that are still alive. I hope everyone has a great weekend.